and welcome into another edition of Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host. Where the 99 Lead, we talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville. The program brought to you by the University of Pikeville. And Where the 99 Lead, they lead to campus at the University of Pikeville, but they also lead from campus back into the community and into the world. We'll go worldwide today with this edition of Where the 99 Lead, talking with Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine students, first-year students, talking about a mission trip that's been going on for years with the University of Pikeville, and of course the then Pikeville College School of Osteopathic Medicine students. But welcome in Eric Shoemaker.
Thank you.
Eric and Jessica Simpson.
Thank you.
First-year med students at Kentucky Com. And before we go any further, we want to meet you guys. Eric, let's have a little background. Where you come from, how you arrived at the University of Pikeville.
I'm from Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, actually. I went to undergrad at Butler University in Indianapolis. And so my dad lives in a town just north of Fort Wayne. It's a small little town. So I like small schools. Butler's a small school. So that's kind of what led me here. I want to practice in a small school. And so the school focuses on leading you to practice in a rural area. So it really caught my eye, and I like their attention to family practice.
Absolutely. And of course, Jessica Simpson, another first-year student. Tell us where you're from.
I'm from the Louisville, Lexington area, and I graduated from University of Kentucky.
Okay.
And I found myself with osteopathic medicine because growing up I was a gymnast, and so I had all kinds of back problems.
Sure.
And went to see MDs for years and was prescribed muscle relaxers, and there really wasn't much they could do until I finally sought out a chiropractor that treated my back in 6 weeks, no back pain, never back pain since, and so the musculoskeletal manipulations really caught my eye with osteopathic medicine because we can offer more as a physician than an MD can.
Very good. And your hometown?
Yes, Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. Very, very good. Of course, we talk about a mission trip with the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. We'll talk more about your first year so far, I guess one semester in the book or the first part of your first year. But let's talk about the mission trip. Of course, it's been going on for years, every summer for a number of years. And tell us when it is and why you choose to go on the trip.
It's July 16th to 23rd, and we've been going for over 10 years. Every summer, a group of medical students with around 5 physicians, and we open up a clinic in Bate Nueve, Dominican Republic. And basically, we provide care for these people that they otherwise wouldn't have. We're the only care that they see.
In a year.
Yeah, and all year long. So we provide the only medical care that they receive, and we go through a nonprofit volunteer organization, the DO Go Ministries. So.
Right. DO's on the Go is a great, great mission. And of course, going to the Dominican Republic, you may not know. Years ago, I know they've been going to the same community, same village, what have you. How did they find that particular community?
I don't know if they really know. So we go through Go Ministries, and they have a really strong connection with the Dominican and Haiti. And so they have an employee who came here and stayed with us for 2 days. And so he's there constantly, and so through them, originally, I'm assuming is how we found it.
And then fell in love with the people in the village, and every year, I mean, it just gets more passionate, and we just want to help them even more. So. And
I think you mentioned the number 5. There'll be 5 students go?
50 students.
Yeah. 50 students?
50 students are going this year. I think
3 physicians.
25 went last year.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And how many people are in the village?
A few thousand.
I don't even think it's 1,000. I think it's in the hundreds. It's a small village.
Yeah.
Right.
But
a lot of medical care needed.
Yes, almost
absolutely.
certainly.
We're the only medical care. I mean, so we're just definitely needed.
You guys could take the summer off. That comes at a time when there are no classes, and I know you have a rigorous curriculum at Kentucky Com. And you could take the college off, you could enjoy it, you could lay in the sand, you could enjoy the beach, you could go to the mountains, and yet you choose to go to a third world country and provide services. Tell me more why.
Well, actually, this is our last summer ever. Yeah. And I mean, it's really important to me. I've been to Ecuador on a mission trip, and you go there and you see how they live and everything they need, and you just want to give them everything you possibly can to do everything you possibly can for them. Sure. And so when I came here as a student and I found out that they were going to the Dominican Republic, I wanted to be a huge part of it, which is why I've taken the chair of fundraising chair to help raise funds to make this trip possible. So.
And for me, I've been to Honduras twice. It was for service work. We didn't do anything medical, but still service work. And I, like Jessica, fell in love with it. It was an incredible opportunity. And coming here, I had talked to a first year at the time when I interviewed, who was in a different role for the group last year. And I just fell in love with it. And that's why I applied to be team leader. And I got it. And I'm ecstatic because I get to do this.
I mean, you go to these kind of areas one time, and it just leaves such a lasting impression. You just want to keep going back. So.
I can see the excitement on both your faces. It's Where the 99 Lead. We talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville. Today we talk about Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine's mission trip. It's an annual event as students have been traveling to third world countries and providing medical care as a mission during the summers when they are off class. Talking with Eric Shoemaker and Jessica Simpson from Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. And I guess fill us in. What happens on the trip? Obviously medical care provided, but outside of that, medically, spiritually, what happens?
Well, we go there. The first day we sort medicine because we try to raise a lot of medicine when we go down there. And so the first day we're there, we sort the medicine, and then we're in clinic for a couple days. But besides that, we do some kind of construction work as well. We're hoping to build a place for the community to take showers rather than kind of like this creek that runs along the side of the village.
Sure.
We're hoping to input another place for them to get potable water. So there's that as well. Spiritually, it is a Christian organization that we do go through.
Right.
And so even though not everybody in our group is Christian, still has an influence of what we do. We focus on it, but it's not a super heavy part of what we do.
Sure.
And you kind of see how the group goes and the feel of the group to kind of determine spiritual. But besides being Christian, it is definitely spiritual because this touches something in you that nothing else you could, in my opinion, experience in the United States kind of touches in you.
And in the village, what's their religious background?
They're Christian. I don't know if they have a specific denomination, but I know they're very passionate Christians. The pastor in the village is like their mayor, the equivalent of their mayor. And so we'll attend church with them on a couple occasions. You're
there for nearly a week?
10 days.
10 days there in the village. Outside of medical care, during downtime, I would imagine there is some downtime, but what kind of activities?
For the downtime?
Yeah.
I plan on helping out wherever we can, just connecting with the people on a personal level. I know we're planning on bringing baseball gear because I know they're huge baseball fans, so we want to go ahead and interact with the community and play with the kids and just get to know them and let them know that we care about them, not only medically but as people, and just giving them things that, you know, they can't usually get.
I would imagine very hospitable. They are eager to see the group arrive.
Oh yeah, I mean the excitement of the kids to even get baseball gear. My previous trip we brought soccer gear and it was like 25 Christmases put in one. They were so excited.
We've already touched on during the course of a year, not a lot of medical care provided. There are a lot of medical needs. This may be the only time that the residents there would see medical care. What type of medical conditions do you anticipate seeing there in the Dominican Republic?
There's some similarities, a lot of differences. A big one, since its location closer to the equator, they have a lot of skin problems like skin cancers and things like that. So that, from what I've been told in the past, that's a big issue. You have the hypertensions like normal, but there's just kind of, there's parasites. What else?
Yeah, the water is a huge problem with them. There's a lot of pathogens in the water that causes deadly infections that you wouldn't see in America. So that's why it's really important for us to give them a structure where they can, one, shower, and two, have clean water. There's also, I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's a new thing that's come out called the Life Straw, where it is a straw basically with a filter. There's no batteries or anything like that or chemicals, and you can drink from any river, puddle, lake, anything that you want, and it kills 99.99% of any bacteria, waterborne bacteria in there. So that's another way that we're gonna, because I mean, just needs to be, they need to have clean water.
Yeah.
Another is shoes. They run around barefoot a lot of the time, well, all the time, and spread feces and just increases the risk of infection. So Jenna Hilty is another first-year student that's been starting basically a shoe fundraiser where we are gathering shoes from around the community and from our school, anyone who's throwing shoes out or whatever, and we're going to bring them and distribute them to all the kids and people of them. Just another way to decrease the risks of, disease.
It brings me to my next question. This trip takes place in July, and here we are talking about it in January. Obviously, there's been planning going on already. When did the planning begin?
It never stops.
Yeah,
Never stops.
The group before us planned our date, got the ball rolling. They interviewed us, gave us our positions.
Sure.
Jessica can speak of the fundraising. The fundraising is a huge aspect. So.
Right. We have 50 people going, and it's roughly $2,000 a person. So that's $100,000 we have to raise, on top of $30,000 in medicine that we're trying to raise.
Sure.
But we've done a lot of school fundraisers, selling KaiCom apparel. I've made license plate frames, just the little things that help out. And then we've also done a golf scramble where we had people around the community send a team or companies just donate money to a golf scramble and made it kind of a fun way to raise money.
Right.
We also have the Texas Roadhouse and Applebee's helping us out with doing restaurant fundraising night where they donate 10% of our sales or their sales to our mission. So the Applebee's first fundraising night is February 5th on a Tuesday, and you have to tell them that you're with or you are in support of the KaiCom mission trip, and they'll donate 10% of everything they make that night from the people who have said that they're supporting our trip. So that's February 5th. And then Texas Roadhouse, our first one is March 12th, and it'll be the same thing. You just tell them you're with KaiCom mission trip, and they'll send 10% of their sales and towards our goal of $100,000. And then our biggest fundraiser of the year is Hillbilly Days, which I'm sure you know all about.
I've heard a thing or two about it.
My mom already has her hotel booked
for
it. Yeah, so apparently they're almost sold out. The hotels are almost sold out because people come from all around.
Sure.
So that is going to be a huge advantage for us. We're going to have a food truck, possible raffles. We're still playing with ideas of fun ways to, raise money, and so that's going to be our biggest one. But companies can donate money as well, and people around the community can donate not only money, over-the-counter medicine, hygienic products. We know we want to take like shampoo and body wash and stuff down there to give them, keep them clean and stop diseases and stuff.
This year, baseball equipment.
And this year, baseball equipment. We got to have the fun too.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. It's Where the 99 Lead. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville. We talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville, academics, athletics, and today focusing on the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine mission trip to the Dominican Republic this July and fundraising. It's always a big need.
Always. Anytime
something like this goes on. $100,000 just to get 50 people there. An additional $30,000 in medicines to go as well. Any help from the pharmaceutical community as far as the medicines go?
Oh yeah. There's another one of us. There's 3 leaders, and she's in charge of procuring medicines for us. But that is a huge take on in itself, because there is barely anything they have, and what we bring down is what they get for their entire year until the next year we come back. So as much as we can get now, the better. And so we want to have so much that really, in an ideal world, we wouldn't know what to do with it or even how to get it down there.
Sure.
So that's what we're working on now, in addition to fundraising, because we just need so much of it. And so
if we don't raise enough, and someone has hypertension or something, and we can only give them medicine for half the year, that's all they're going to have is medicine for half the year. So it's really important that we get enough medicine to treat their conditions throughout the entire year to last them until we come 2014.
Right.
So medicine's huge.
That being said, though, if any pharmacies in the area want to donate, there's one stipulation: the medicine can't expire before we go down there. So we're leaving July 16th. And so it can't expire before that. And
July
that's
17th.
So
it can expire July 17th, and that's fine.
But it just can't expire beyond that.
I was thinking local pharmacies, but I was also thinking the drug companies themselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
Those drug companies, and you hear them talk about when folks have needs for medicines, and it's certainly quite an undertaking and very, very important. Of course, we've got to get things paid for. How are the fundraising efforts so far?
Going good. We're going strong, and all of the people of the mission trip that are going, they're all working hard out there, doing what we can. We still have a lot more to go, and we're going to work our hardest. And we really hope the community can help us out, local churches, maybe spreading awareness or collecting donations, or even if they can't, then maybe donating over-the-counter medicine or, like I said, hygienic products, people of the community. Or
Before we wrap up the show today, we want to give a contact number, if we could, for folks to get in touch with regarding fundraising, as it's a huge part of it, and I think it's obviously a worthy cause. Of course, we've talked about the community. How's support been from the community, not just this year, but in years past?
What keeps us going. It's
what we rely on.
Amazing,
Yeah. Like I said, the gentleman who lives in the Dominican Republic came up and spent a couple days here. We had a presentation at the school. He talked about what he does, and so the community came out for that, which was really nice. We invited the local churches, and so we rely on the community. We wouldn't be able to do this, and this is as much about us as it is about them. That it's our mission trip, but it's their mission trip as well, and we just want them to know that, because that is literally the only way we could get to go.
Absolutely. It's Where the 99 Lead. We're talking with Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine first-year students Eric Shoemaker and Jessica Simpson on this edition of Where the 99 Lead, previewing a mission trip to the Dominican Republic coming up this July, and they need money. Raising money now to send 50 students, 50 people there, also raising money for medicines to be used there in the Dominican Republic. You mentioned life straws.
Yes.
They can be used to make any water drinkable.
Up to 1,000 liters. I mean, it can just...
It's incredible.
Where did these come from?
I believe, when we looked at these the first time, I believe it was kind of... Somebody came up with them, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was an invention from somebody who was in adventures and hiking and kind of those kind of activities.
Boy Scouts.
And they needed something in emergencies and just to use whenever they needed. And so they made these. It really went off, and so now they're shipping them around the world.
I'm just curious the cost of these.
I believe they're $20.
Yeah, $20 a straw.
And those would last for some time.
1,000 liters.
Yeah. So it make a huge difference.
Huge difference. I mean, that is a leading cause of death. I mean, waterborne bacteria, and if we could eliminate that, then, I mean, we've done a lot. So we're really hoping.
Something we don't think of.
Right. Oh, no, yeah.
We open the faucet.
No.
We open our bottled water.
They don't have a faucet.
We have filters on our faucets,
Yeah.
and it's something that we just don't think about.
Right,
And
take
these
for
folks
granted,
are drinking from whatever water source they can find.
And something they told us before we got into this is that in the village we go to, there's this ditch that people bathe in, where animals go to cool off in the summer heat. And so you have this mixture of animal feces, and then there's kids playing in it, and all of these mixtures of things. And that's another. It might sound absolutely disgusting to us, but if we had these straws, they could stick it in there, and that would be a source for them to get water, rather than the one place in the village where they could get the potable water.
And if we build this structure for the showers and stuff, I mean, we could eliminate them showering in the river in the first place. So I mean, there's a lot of benefit. I mean, that we're going to be able to do when we're done
Making a difference.
Yeah, making a huge difference.
Exactly. Not just in our community at the University of Pikeville, in our region, but certainly worldwide, making a difference.
Absolutely.
And it's admirable. Let's talk about new med students. First year. And Jessica, let's start with you. You're first year med student, and you arrive at Pikeville. How much time did you spend in Pikeville before you arrived to begin classes?
I had an interview here.
Yes.
That's it.
A little bit different than Louisville.
But extremely different.
Yeah. Let's talk about that first, the adjustment to Eastern Kentucky.
Well, I'll tell you, this environment has been the most optimal learning environment possible. I mean, I live walking distance to school, walking distance to the library, walking distance to all my peers.
Sure.
And how often do you get to step outside and see mountains? And, you're having a bad day, you go on a hike and you go to the overlook. You could study on the overlook when it's nice out. I mean, it just offers a peaceful environment that just a city really couldn't.
Yes.
I mean, as well as the school. I mean, the whole town is just so loving and caring, and I go to the grocery store and they remember my name, and it's just still crazy to me. But I mean, all the faculty have been amazing and making me feel at home. So even though I'm 4 hours from home, I don't get homesick because I have a family of med school students.
And after this program, it won't just be the grocery store. They'll remember your name.
Yeah,
will
that's
be
right.
other places.
That's right.
Your first year as a med student, what's that been like?
Exactly what I expected, really hard. But I've learned more in the last 6 months than I could have imagined learning in years. So it's definitely possible, and it's been really great, and the support between us, our classmates and peers, is awesome. You always have someone that's going through the exact same thing to help you out when you need it, or whatever you need. Everyone's so supportive, and so it's been amazing.
And the largest class ever.
Right, 140.
This year, of course, the class expanded at the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. You being first-year students, you don't really have anything to compare to but the Cole building. The facilities for Kentucky Com, how has that been for the first-year students and then those that have been there as well?
Wonderful.
We are so lucky
Yeah.
and grateful, and I mean, it's just the most perfect learning environment possible. I mean, it's just top of the line. Everything about it is,
Right.
I mean, we have microphones and little cameras in our classroom. We have a clinic to do standardized patients, and I mean, it's just more than you could ever imagine.
All right. Eric, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yes.
It's a little ways from here.
It's 7 hours.
A little further north.
Yeah.
And you arrive in Eastern Kentucky. How much time had you spent here before you arrived?
I interviewed, and then one day I looked at apartments, and that was it.
Very good.
Yeah.
So the adjustment to Eastern Kentucky from where things are a little flatter.
Yeah. It's crazy waking up in the morning, looking out my window, and seeing mountains. It's just something that I had never experienced in my life. But I love it. I love the small town community. Like I said, my dad is from a little town north.
Right.
And so I'm used to the smaller town, but Fort Wayne itself is still a pretty big town. But I have grown to love it, and I knew that going to a small town like this it's really what I wanted to do, because there's an atmosphere here that you just can't get from a big city. And that atmosphere, just kind of growing up and living in a big city, but yet kind of in a small city, I've determined that it's really important to me. It offers something that you just can't get.
It's where the 99 lead, and not just to campus, but from campus into our community, into the region, and into the world. Today we talk with osteopathic medicine students, Jessica Simpson, Eric Shoemaker, and a mission trip that's coming up to the Dominican Republic this July. And of course, first-year med students, a lot of your time, I would imagine, spent in the books.
Absolutely.
But also preparing for a mission trip. And when you think about the mission work that you'll be doing this summer, how do you think it might impact you when you complete your studies and you become a physician?
I think it'll give us a greater appreciation. Not I think, I know. I know it'll give us a greater appreciation for what we're doing, for what medicine is in the United States, because we're going to go to a place where there's not a whole lot, but we're going to come back here and we'll be able to appreciate what we have. We'll be able to express that to our patients, and we'll be able to take care of them potentially in a way we never thought before, because when we go down there, we're going to have to think outside the box.
Sure.
We're not going to have
Right,
everything
yeah.
we need. And so that's part of the osteopathic way as well, being more holistic, that we can bring that to our patients. We can offer them something that we might not have thought before going on this mission trip. So
Very good.
In Iowa, it's a huge problem there is access to care, and you can read about the people not having access to medical care, but when you're there and you actually see the magnitude of having no health care whatsoever, and you come back here, and I know Eastern Kentucky and the Appalachian area, there is an access to care and family practice, shortages.
Sure.
So for me, it will drive my passion to improve these areas of medicine in the Eastern Kentucky even more, to figure out what can we do as physicians to improve these problems.
Part of the original mission with the then Pikeville College School of Osteopathic Medicine was to provide rural doctors. And I know it continues today, and it's a huge number. I've heard the number recently, and a large percentage of the physicians that graduate that land in rural medicine, and certainly meeting a need in our region, and also you guys, you'll be meeting a need worldwide. And I think it's a great cause. We talked earlier about fundraising, and we want to be sure and get a contact number out there. Someone they can reach, a website, a phone number that they can call if they have questions about fundraising, they want to help out. with whatever the case may be. Maybe it's just some baseball equipment. Maybe it's
helps
thousands of
too.
dollars.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a huge check. Someone's tuned in and they want to help out. Let's get that out there.
Well,
Go ahead.
we're going to post it on the website, piketv.com, under our show. You'll be able to access who you need to contact.
Sure.
Personal emails, jessicasimpson.upike.edu and ericshoemaker.upike.edu. We also have a Facebook group that will give you all of the information you need to know about what our mission's about, how to donate, what you can do, how you can make a difference. It's facebook.com/KYCOMMM. So,
Kentucky Com MM.
Medical Mission is what it
Medical
stands
Mission.
for. So,
Yeah.
There you go. We'll be sure and get that out as well and get links there. And then we want to talk again in the future with you guys about fundraising, about the trip on possibly the stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting. Further spread the word and get the word out as we send some of our own, because you are our own now, as you become a part of our community at the University of Pikeville. Jessica Simpson, good luck in your studies.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Enjoy the trip, and we want to hear all about it when you return. Eric, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
And good luck to you in your future as a student and as an aspiring physician as well. We look forward to hearing about the trip when you return. You've been tuned to Where the 99 Lead. It's a program brought to you by the University of Pikeville, where we talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville, including the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine and their upcoming mission trip to the Dominican Republic. Our guest today, Jessica Simpson, Eric Shoemaker from the Kentucky College of Osteopathic Medicine. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host. Thanks for tuning in. Where the 99 Lead, brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.